Video on how to utilize flat sheets in your bedroom instead of using a doona cover. I know here in Australia we use a lot of doona covers. I haven't used doona covers for a very long time. Here's the flat sheet. I'll just quickly go through the layers. Here is, now it's summer here in Australia, so I took the winter quilt or doona off the bed and I use a bedspread that I've got. Here is the bedspread that I've got that I don't particularly like, but it works really good as a summer quilt. And then here is my flat sheet that I have on the bed, and then here is my fitted sheet, which this actually is a bit small for this bed, but you get the idea. So I'm not going to be showing you how to put a fitted sheet on the bed. We all know how to do that. It's just how to utilize two flat sheets around your quilt, whether that's a bedspread or a summer quilt or a winter quilt, works the same way. So you start with a fitted sheet, or some people do use flat sheets on the bed, and if you do, that's fine. Then you get your flat sheet. I'm just using plain colors here. Normally you can do it a couple of different ways. If you end up buying a couple of sets of flat sheets, then you can always use one under and one on the top as a decorative, and enough overlay on each side. So you make that as you would normally. There's no surprises or anything here, and just keep your excess up the top. I'm hoping you can see that on the camera. I'm going to use this instead of the doona, but of course if you've only got a doona, your white winter doonas, that's fine. You use that. Doesn't need a cover or anything on it. Plenty of overlap up the top. I always make sure that I have just enough to tuck in and that it's centered on the bed. Right. So I'm hoping you can see I've got a little bit of overhang up the top over that plain quilt. There are a couple of ways you can make the beds. I'm going to show you two ways. So just have that little overhang, and then I always pull it down to about a 40 centimeters overhang. Okay, so you've got this effect on the bed. Now this distance here, which is very hard to show you on camera, but this is about a pillow width. If I was to put the pillow on against the bed, you would see, hopefully, the doona and your flat sheet starts where the pillow ends. So this is a pillow width from the wall to give you a sheet. So now I'm going to put this on the bed as you would normally, straight over the top. You keep the overhang to whatever you're happy with at the front and at the sides, and just pull it as tight as you can. Now you can take that and then tuck it under. I've got just enough overhang to cover where it ends here. I've just tucked in the quilt or the bedspread underneath it, and there are a couple of different ways you can finish that off. You can have it so it sits tucked in. This is a personal way to do a bed, and everyone is different. You know, you can just have nice, tight, tucked in corners like that if you prefer. I actually like a softer look to the bed, and I just take the tip and have it very similar to the edge or the bottom of the base, and that's how I like it. I just think it looks softer on the bed. So all I've done is just folded that in like that, so that this is the top. I've just folded it over the top, and then that just sits about that 40 centimeter distance with your pillows on top. That's one way of doing it. Now, if I was to use a decorative flat sheet here, this one's just a solid colour. So So to me that's not very exciting to look at, so that's why I would make it completely covered. But this is your protection of your bedspread or your quilt. So sheet on top of the bed as normal. I just wouldn't have folded this down. Just lay it flat, and then what you would do is just do a 2-fold, or you could do just one big single fold. The solid colour as a contrast on the bed, or if you've got a lovely different decorative top sheet. This is how I mounted the pillow slips. Because they're hand blocked, they've all been done in one continuous piece of fabric, so you could see where this square border was the original size pillow, which fits a standard size pillow, but these are king size pillows, so they're quite longer. So what I did is just opened the side seams up, laid it on top of an existing white pillow slip, and did it that way, and I think that works quite well for my king bed. Just a little bit of overhang at the bottom. The sides look all really nice and neat and tidy. You can tuck them in, like I said. So really, everyone, that's really how it works. That's giving you that feature of a different coloured strip, you know, whether it's solid. So if I had like a dark green flat sheet, I would actually do it that way, but it's coming up a little bit darker. These colours are quite muted in the flesh. But anyway, so that's how you do it. So you can have that showing, you can hide it completely, but your doona underneath is very much protected. It makes it a lot easier to make your bed. You're not trying to find corners, and you know, you don't end up inside the bed sheet yourself, or bed doona cover yourself. With a king bed, you can imagine how big a doona cover is for a king bed. I just find using these flat sheets a lot easier to use. They're easier to wash. You would launder your quilt or your bedspread how you would normally, so easier to make. So hopefully this video has helped you on how to make your bed. There's no rules. They're just 2 flat sheets, and all you're doing is sandwiching your quilt in between. Now whether that's a winter quilt, a summer quilt, a blanket, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you use on your bed to keep you warm or weight on your bed, then you would use, and you're just encompassing it in amongst 2 flat sheets as if it was a quilt, except it's a lot easier because they're 2 single entities and easier to make.